Society tells you to pick one thing and stick to it. From the moment you enter school, the question is always the same. What do you want to be when you grow up? Singular. One thing. They tell you that if you dabble, you will become a jack of all trades but a master of none. But what if I told you that the second half of that famous quote was added later to keep you small? The original saying was simply a jack of all trades. And historically, being a master of many disciplines was not a sign of distraction. It was the ultimate sign of genius. Today, we are going to talk about how to master anything. We are going to talk about the path of the polymath. If you have ever felt like you have too many interests, if you bounce from coding to painting, from psychology to fitness, and you feel guilty because you cannot just pick a lane, this is for you. You are not broken. You are not unfocused. You simply have the mind of a polymath trapped in a world built for specialists. Let us look at history. Leonardo da Vinci did not just paint the Mona Lisa. He studied anatomy, engineered weapons, and conceptualized flying machines. Benjamin Franklin was a politician, an inventor, a writer, and a scientist. Aristotle contributed to logic, ethics, biology, and aesthetics. The greatest leaps in human history were not made by people who stayed in their lane. They were made by people who drove across the entire map. The modern obsession with specialization is actually a recent invention. It was born during the Industrial Revolution. Factories needed workers to do one highly specific task over and over again on an assembly line. The education system was redesigned to produce these specialized workers. Pick a major, get a specific degree, work a specific job for 40 years. But we are no longer in the industrial age. We are in the information age and very quickly moving into the artificial intelligence age. In a world where AI can do highly specialized tasks faster than any human, the specialist is actually in danger. The future belongs to the generalist. The future belongs to the polymath, who can connect the dots between completely different fields and see the bigger picture. So, how do you actually become a master of all trades? It comes down to a specific framework of learning and managing your curiosity. The first step is mastering meta-learning. Before you learn a subject, you must learn how to learn. Most people approach a new skill by blindly consuming tutorials from start to finish. A polymath approaches a new skill by deconstructing it. If you want to learn a new language, you do not just open a textbook on page 1. You look for the most common 500 words that make up 80% of daily conversation. You look for the grammatical structures that give you the highest return on your time. This is the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. A polymath is obsessed with finding that highly effective 20% in every single field they explore. The second step is skill stacking. You do not need to be the absolute best in the world at one thing to be extraordinarily successful. Being in the top 1% of a single field is incredibly difficult and highly competitive, but being in the top 25% of 3 different fields is highly achievable. And when you combine them, you become completely unique. Look at Steve Jobs. He was not the greatest programmer in the world. He was not the greatest designer in the world. But he understood technology, he understood business, and he had a deep appreciation for design and calligraphy. He stacked those skills, and the result was Apple. Your unique combination of interests is your greatest competitive advantage. One of the hardest things about being a polymath is being willing to suck at something new. As adults, we hate being beginners. We want to feel competent. When you constantly learn new things, you are constantly putting yourself back at the starting line. You have to drop your ego. You have to embrace the awkward, clumsy phase of learning a new instrument, or a new software, or a new sport. The faster you can get comfortable with being a beginner, the faster you will reach mastery. But here is the biggest challenge for the aspiring polymath: managing your time and your interests. When you are curious about everything, it is easy to become paralyzed and achieve nothing. The mistake most people make is trying to learn 5 different things on the exact same day. You spend 20 minutes on guitar, 20 minutes on coding, 20 minutes on learning Spanish. At the end of the week, you have made zero real progress in any of them, and you feel entirely burned out. Instead, you need to use the rotating focus method. Dedicate a specific season of your life to 1 or 2 primary skills. For the next 3 months, maybe your primary focus is video editing, and your secondary focus is fitness. You go deep. You immerse yourself. You build a strong foundational baseline. Then, once you have reached a level of competence where you do not easily forget the skill, you put it on maintenance mode. You only need a fraction of the effort to maintain a skill compared to acquiring it. Then, you rotate a new interest into your primary focus slot. Over the course of 5 years, you will have built a massive stack of highly developed skills without the burnout of trying to do them all at once. Do not let the world shame you for your boundless curiosity. Mastery does not mean knowing every single trivial detail about a subject. It means understanding the core principles so deeply that you can apply them to solve novel problems. When you study martial arts, you learn about leverage and timing. When you study business, you learn about leverage and timing. When you study chess, you learn about leverage and timing. A polymath sees the underlying patterns that connect all disciplines. Every time you learn a new subject, learning the next one becomes easier. Your brain creates a massive web of analogies. When you encounter a complex problem in engineering, you might solve it using a principle you learned in biology. This is called cross-pollination, and it is the true source of human innovation. Do not let the world shame you for your boundless curiosity. Your desire to explore multiple paths is a gift. It is the engine of creativity. Embrace your varied interests. Deconstruct the skills you want to learn. Stack them together to create something the world has never seen before. Become the master of all trades. If you found this perspective helpful and want to continue expanding your mind, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We explore new ways to think, learn, and grow every single week. Keep learning, keep exploring, and I will see you in the next one.